So it's early June out in the Alps and it's raining a whole load, and I'm also kind of a little bit injured. So I thought, why not just do a tour of my kind of workshop studio space, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of the sort of space that I inhabit when I'm doing my editing, making my videos, and getting ready for my adventures. Also, I thought it could be a good opportunity to update you on some of the things that are going on in my life at the moment, and keep you in the loop with plans and things that I've got coming up over the next few months. I also got a new lens for my camera, which I'm super excited about, because the only lens I had before was a 35mm prime, which was great. I made it work, but just having a kind of wide angle zoom like this, that only is like 16 to 25, but having this is hopefully going to make this style of like vlogging content much quicker and much easier to do, because I can actually hold the camera and fit my face in, which I couldn't do with my old lens. So this space is actually the basement of my house, which is great because yeah, I'm not leasing it from anywhere. This is basically a space that we own in the house, which is awesome. Obviously it's super easy for me to get to. I just come downstairs from the house. So once I've finished dealing with the kids in the morning, for example, and getting them out the door and ready to go, I can come down here, get my stuff on, get ready, and get out the door to go and do whatever I'm doing. It's super handy having these sliding doors, and they're wide enough that I can fit a set of handlebars through them, which is great. So I can bring the bike in and out, and I can stick it in the stand really easily and work on it and just get it ready to go out and do a ride. So obviously I wanted this space to be fairly functional, so I've got like my desk over on this side, I've got an area over here which I use for like servicing bikes and fixing things, and just like, you know, that's kind of like the biking and tool corner. And then I've got like my climbing stuff over here. Down at the bottom here is a couple of like studio lights, so they're ready to go. I can just kind of like get them out at any point and then, you know, set up some lights and film a video. And then in these boxes here, I've got various things. So in this one, for example, is crampons. Next to it is harnesses, and then we've got kind of like bits and pieces for ski mountaineering. I've got like goggles and hats, I've got skins and ski crampons, and I got gloves in there. And I kind of got used to that system. It works pretty well. I haven't really thought about if there's a better way of doing it, but it seems to work pretty well. And if I can't find exactly what I'm looking for, it's really easy for me to just pull those tubs the whole way out and just root around and find what I need in there. So on the back of the door is this like foam sound insulation stuff, and there's a load of that around here. That's kind of been a little bit of a theme of this place, is trying to get good sound, because it just makes my life so much easier when I'm come to editing, if there's not like loads of echoes and weird noises coming through. But if the washing machine or tumble dryer is on, I can still hear it, because it's just kind of, that's that way out of the door there. So here I've got like random jackets and also like my cragging bag stuff. So if I want to go out for a quick climb, should have like a bag packed already, and I can just grab it and head out. Down here I've got my tripod and ice axes and shovels that are just kind of hanging there, and it should be that they're pretty easy to just like pull one of those out and use that. So that works quite well. And then I've got all these shovels basically hanging up on here. So over here I've got a whiteboard, and these are basically just like bits and pieces for the workshop, screws, nails, just bits and stuff like that. Just various little tools that kind of come in handy. Battery charging, and this is just a tripod that I can just stick on the work top there and do stuff off this kind of anchor point in the ceiling. So basically this anchor point is a piece of rebar that goes all the way through the roof, and I've basically kind of like, I guess you could say, a Bolokov threaded it. I've like drilled 45 degrees in one way and 45 degrees in the other way. Pretty solid. I've done quite a lot of stuff off that, but I wouldn't trust it for more than just my weight. But yeah, it does the trick for like showing you guys certain things. But obviously, yeah, we got the red couch. That thing was actually quite cheap. I think it was about 60 or 70 euros. Somebody was trying to get rid of it. And I actually put it on some coaster wheels, which has actually been a bit of a lifesaver, because if I want to get it out of the way to do stuff, then I can just wheel it down the other end of the workshop. I get loads of people asking me about this map. This map is beautiful, I absolutely love it, but the story behind it is a friend of mine, Ben Tibbetts. You might know Ben. He makes really beautiful guidebooks and books. So he's made Alpenglow, and he's working on this like new set of like guidebooks out there. I'll leave a link down in the description to those guidebooks. He made one of these maps because he was filming Hilary Girardi and his partner Valentine doing the women's record of the Haute Route, and this was actually a prop that they had behind Hilary in one of those videos, and I saw the prop and I was like, Ben, can you make me one of those as well? And he was, oh, fine. And he like fished out the file that he'd made, where he'd basically stitched all these tiles together from the Swiss topo maps, and then he found a poster printer person and they printed it off, and it's so beautiful. It looks 3D, but it's actually just 2D. But yeah, and then I mounted it on a piece of like 3mm plastic with some battens of wood behind it to give it some rigidity. But yeah, it's a custom job. It's not something you can just buy, I'm afraid, but you could make it yourself. That's one of my Ronin skis that I made. Basically realized that I don't really want to ski those because I'm pretty proud of that kind of whole process. And also I started skiing on faction skis, which I actually found a little bit more in line with how I like to ski. Yeah, I also found that the sintered bases on the bottom of these, they needed a lot of like tuning, and just never quite got comfortable with how they skied like sideways. They were very good like going straight, but they weren't very good at going sideways. So maybe Jono's fixed that sort of problem with the base, but I'm not sure. So over in this corner is obviously the ropes. Now some people say that you shouldn't hang ropes up like that, and to be honest, I don't really care. There's a lot of ropes there, but it's good to have a good quiver of different lengths and types of rope for various different types of climbing. I've got my helmets over in the back there. Petzl Sirocco, my favourite climbing helmet. And then got boots and mountaineering boots and ski boots and all that kind of stuff on a rack here, right next to this Core Alp drying rack, which has been absolutely superb. I've been very happy with this thing. It was like a bit of an investment, but I use it basically every night to dry my ski boots on my liners. So down here I've got a mat from ZipFit. They were very kind to give me this mat, which is absolutely awesome. So yeah, that's kind of been a nice little addition to the workshop. By the way, I've been working on this prototype liner, which hopefully I'll be able to show you a little bit more in the next little while, but they're just finishing the final touches with it. It's going to be really cool. But yeah, certainly it's going to be coming out next year, and you guys hopefully will, yeah, I think there'll be a lot of you that will be very interested in that liner. It really has transformed my skiing. Here I've got like different backpacks. Sometimes these are kind of like packed up and kind of ready to go. Sometimes they're not. But at the moment, yeah, they're just kind of like chilling. My ski helmets, I probably don't need 3, but I have 3. Yeah, this is where the Prince sits, Prince Harry, and the cat flap that I put in, which he never uses, so I just kind of like blocked it up. He's basically too big to fit in this normal cat flap, which is ridiculous, I think. So up here I've got like socks batteries, hats, snack bars, sunscreen, stuff like that. It's just sort of somewhere to have it, so it's easy to just like pack things in the morning. These Yeti Camino bags are awesome. Not sponsored by Yeti. Yeti, if you're watching this, you can send me some more of these bags. They're superb. Yeah, I think having something like that you can put your like ski boots in and chuck it in the back of the car alongside your bag, it just makes the whole process of getting packed like super easy. Yeah, this is all just kind of like everyday guide stuff, so like first aid kit, group shelters. This is sort of like ski boot repair stuff, and like all my camera stuff in there, camping stuff in the bottom, and spares and repairs, and then a packing list on the wall there, just to sort of remind me of like what I need. basically. Up on the wall here, I've got like rad lines and beacons and probes and radios. Over here, we've got all like the rab clothes and everything. All different like down jackets and waterproofs and ski jackets and everything. It's nice to have a hanging rack like that, so I can just like sort my layers out. I normally just like get everything in a pile on there, and then I have like my Yeti bag and my other stuff, and I get changed down here, and then I exit through that door, and then I walk around to the car and then drive off to Chamonix in the morning. So that's like my kind of routine. There's a few more backpacks and hip belts and stuff. There's some more camera stuff in that Yeti box. Sewing machine, which I'm still getting used to using. Sewing is really difficult. And then this whiteboard is like, this is like keeping me in check with various things. So it's got like to-do lists, content that I want to make, projects that I'm working on. It's right in front of my computer, so I can just kind of see what's going on and keep track of stuff. And then this is where I'm doing my editing, and here is like just a little bit more junk and various bits and pieces for the workshop. So a lot of people also ask me, where do I keep the bikes? And I keep them out in this back shed on the back of the house, because yeah, I don't really have space to have those bikes in the gear room as well in the studio. So yeah, that's where I keep them, and they're ready to go in this nice lockable roller door. And also, this is the garage. This is where my wife parks her car. That door goes out to the car park, and I can just take the skis out of here and put them on the roof of my car in the box. And I've got a nice little waxing table set up here as well, so I can chuck wax on those skis and get them out the door, get going. And then looking over this way, yeah, I've obviously got the bike in the stand and some tools. I've got compressed air down here. Got other tools, sunglasses and everything that's ready to go here. Some helmets. That's where I keep like some paperworky stuff. Nothing too important in there. And then yeah, tools, and then like a nice tool chest thing, which is not particularly well organized, but I know where everything is, so it's fine. This guy as well. This old clamp thing has just been superb. It like swivels and it turns. It's just like so useful for various things, sharpening ice axes and crampons, for example. Super good for that. I've got like a load of whiskey, which I don't actually love whiskey. I kind of like drink a little bit of it, but people just keep buying it for me. So yeah, that's fine. I've got my guides diploma. Yes, it was cracked when they gave it to me, and they still haven't replaced the glass, and I bet they never do. Yeah, that's just basically all the climbing gear there, and we're kind of like back to where we were. The nice thing about this is I can get rid of the bike stand and the bike, and I can get rid of the chair and put the ping pong table in here and kind of have a bit of a game of ping pong with people if it's really bad weather, although I haven't done that for ages. Well, a little bit of an update about what's going on at the moment, so you can kind of get a feel for where I'm at with certain things. So I've been obviously working with oak the last year nearly, and it's moving in a good direction. There's loads of people that are kind of like signing up to it. I think there was a lot of technical deficit, which means that the app, you know, when it was originally made, it wasn't, you know, particularly fancy. It didn't have like good back end to it, and the developers have been working really hard at making the app a lot better. Things are going well with that, but I'm kind of like taking a little bit more of a backseat with it. Still promoting it, still think it's a really cool project, and I think it's going to go in a good direction, but I'm kind of more focused on my own content stuff and also guiding and family stuff. Talking about the content stuff, I want to be doing more videos and getting stuff outside. I have a little bit of budget now for some videos, so that's really exciting. Hopefully we'll be going out and doing stuff out in the mountains a little bit more. But the thing that I'm currently working on, because I'm a little bit injured, as I said at the start of the video, I have a little bit of a problem with my knee, so I'm having an injection this week, and hopefully that's going to help. It's a PRP injection. Hopefully that's going to help with the little bit of pain that I'm having, and you know, that should help for the rest of the summer. but because I'm taking a little bit of downtime, I'm actually working on some online courses. Now, I'm working on 2 courses at the moment. One is like an introductory alpine course, and this is going to be for people who are coming from hill walking or rock climbing or, you know, scrambling, something like that, and they want to get into doing alpine climbing. So that course is going to be packed full of really useful content, which is about like how to layer, what to carry in your bag, what knots and hitches you need to know, all that kind of stuff. And it's going to be packaged up in a course, online course that you can buy and you're going to have access to forever. I'm also going to update those videos as time goes on as well. And yeah, so I'm kind of like working hard on that, working hard on those topics, figuring out the videos and what needs to happen for those courses. It will probably launch sometime around, hopefully, middle of July. Not ideal, it would be good if it was launching now, obviously, but things were a little bit delayed because I had like some family stuff that I was doing in May and things like that. So anyway, it's in the pipeline, and the other course that I'm doing is a Via Ferrata course as well. Now, there isn't an online course for Via Ferrata that I can find, and I think that that's a really interesting thing for people to do if you're kind of like getting into alpine climbing and you want to go out and do some Via Ferratas in Chamonix or in the Dolomites. A lot of the time people don't really want to go out with a guide, they kind of want to figure it out themselves, but there are actually quite a few things that you should know before you head out and do a Via Ferrata. So I'm going to do a course, a really comprehensive course on that, but it's a course that you should be able to do over a few hours. Like, let's say you're doing the Tour de Mont Blanc, for example, and you want to do a Via Ferrata at the end. You could do it whilst you're at the huts, you know, on that Tour de Mont Blanc. So, yeah, working hard on that at the moment. If you're interested in those courses, or you know somebody who might be, there's a link down in the description again with the other links that are all down there. If you click on there, you can enter your email and you'll be the first to know when that course is coming out. And there'll also be a discount for the first few hundred people or 50, 60 people, whoever, who are going to sign up to that. So if you sign up down below, then you might be in with a chance of getting a discount on those courses if you're interested as well. I am going to be running some skills courses on the Oak app as well. So if you're not part of the Oak app, you should definitely download it. And if you want to do skills courses out in the Alps this summer with me, then you can follow me on there and you can see what's going on. Last year I did like a rock rescue course, which was really well received. And maybe in the future, I might even do like a rock rescue online course, which is like a precursor to that in-person course. And then who knows, like if these online courses do well and people like them, maybe we'll do more. So yeah, that's a little bit of an update of what's going on. Hope you enjoyed having a look around my workshop and getting to know this sort of space that you might see a little bit more of if you take these online courses or if you're watching more of my videos. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.